welcome to another catch up with me, Jenny from Virtual Sewing Room. It's been a couple of weeks, busy, hot. I'm clammy today. I can't open the window because there are some builders a few neighbours away, and yes, unfortunately they're just kind of not far and they're noisy. So window closed, I'm a bit clammy, sorry. But yeah, I've got a few things that I would like to chat to you about. We've had a busy few sessions. We had a lovely one last night, which I'll start with. We had our Making for Charity. So if you've not seen that advertised before, if you make stuff for a charity or a good cause, not your friends and family, they don't count. It's got to be for someone external. So it's that selfless sewing for a very good cause. There's a few of us who are regulars. It's a nice small group, and we make all sorts in that. So last night there were 3 of us. We had pads being made. So here are some I cut earlier. So I've got some purple, it's all spots, but I've gone through, this is just what I've cut out. I haven't, over the last 6 months, slowly been working my way through. The sessions are my accountability to helping others. So my desk is actually covered with other bits. So I've got toweling and fleece. And this is one of the reasons why it's taken so long, because I know when I get all this stuff out, all the fluff that comes with it. You don't have to use toweling, there's other fabrics you can use, but that's what I've got to hand. So I've got it out. This is what I'm going to make on Saturday's session that we've got coming up. 6 hours of no particular theme, make what you want. So I would like to get all of this out and shipped out to Pachamama, the charity that I sew for, because moving date, we don't have one yet, but actually it would free up quite a bit of space in my sewing room if I can get all of this shipped out. So it's not in my Kallax unit, but it's in another drawer just to the side, and it takes up a lot of space. It's going to wobble a bit, there you go. The fleece and everything, that's a big chunk. So just to get that space back would be great, rather than just carrying it over to the new house. Yeah, so I'm at a point where I just need to churn through, get all the pieces together, and it will come together really quickly so I can ship them out. I did some drawstring bags last night to go with them. I think I did 4, but yeah, I'll see how many. I find that a nicer, mindless project rather than the pads themselves, but it's all for a good cause, and then I can give this room a good hoover when it's all done. And we've got lots of sessions coming up through July. So talking about 6-hour long session, in my diary I've penciled in one for the very end of July, but because of house move I've not released it because I don't want to have to cancel and refund everyone. So I think the last Saturday of July I've penciled in for a shirt sew along. We did our recent shirt pole knockout, and I've been inspired. I've bought 2 patterns now. So I mentioned before the Olia shirt. Helen's Closet had a big discount on her patterns recently because it's their birthday. Happy birthday, Helen's Closet. So I ended up buying the Gilbert shirt. Yes, very influenced by that. All the lovely makes that are out there for that. So it's been on my radar. So yeah, I've bought that. We're going to do shirts, but if I'm not moving, so I don't want to put it out there. So if you want to pencil it in your diaries, please do. But I will let you know when it is ready to book. So that'll be a Saturday, 10 till 4 UK time. And yeah, shirts, and yeah, whatever counts as a shirt for you. Doesn't have to be one of the 16 in the competition. Any shirts, whether it's got buttons or not, or collars, whatever shirt is to you. Shirt dresses, etc. It doesn't have to be for yourself. So hopefully we can get that in if I don't move that weekend. So another project that I've been working on and just finished as well yesterday is my murder mystery quilt block for June. Actually blocks, there were 2. I mention this during sessions when it comes through. I have a reminder on my phone when the next block is due out. And it's a long wait because I've just looked up her name. It's not Amanda, it's Deborah. Deborah WhipStitch on Instagram runs the Murder Mystery Quilt. I've been sent it by a few friends over the last 2 or 3 years, and I'd come across it before as well. And I decided this is the year I want to. My hair, honestly, the sweaty clamminess. Ugh. Yeah, the last few years been sent it. I've thought about doing it before, but I'm just quilting. I'm not the biggest fan. It's what my mum loved to do. The precision always puts me off, but I've done a few quilted bits before, so I thought actually maybe this year is something. It's a block a month, and if there's any reason why I would quilt, it's baby quilts for friends because they're small and it's cute, or a murder mystery because I love murder mysteries. Yes, that's one thing you need to know about me. Love them. Books, films, playing games, murder mysteries. So this is why I thought it would be a nice way to incentivize myself to make a quilt. And I'd seen previous themes. There was a pirate theme one year, which I thought was very cool, and I really wish that I could go back and have joined that year because I would have really loved that. This year's theme is Machu Picchu, and actually you can see my block just behind me. That's my llama, Flora. She was March, I think. I'll show you my blocks I've completed so far. So each month, as part of the quilt, there's a Facebook group for makers. There's actually a few groups. There's so many people. So there's about 450, I think, on my particular group, where you upload your blocks each month, and then you'll get a clue before the next block is released. So that's a clue to finding out who the murderer is. And there's a whole story. So it's themed around Machu Picchu. So as well as the block and instructions for sewing, you get a chapter of the story. So across the year from January through to December this year, there's a story set around it's not archaeologists, there's a botanical archaeologist, I think. Can't remember, but Kitty, who's at this site, and then a body is discovered. It's not a mummified body, but it's actually someone else. And so, yes, chapter each month, and we're not any closer to finding out who, but I think I have solved four of the month's clues so far. So I've had 5 clues through. I've solved 4 because the first month I didn't finish on time, so I didn't get January's clue. Anyway, I'll quickly show you the blocks because I'm just rambling about what it is. I think it's quite good for the money. There's a really handy guide to quilting techniques. It's free, that's part of it, and I've learned quite a bit through that. When I made my friend's Hungry Caterpillar quilt, actually I went to that resource to find out about binding, and it was so useful for doing that. So yes, it's great. So a couple of the blocks were very similar, but let's scoot back a bit. Here we go. So block 1, I don't know if it's that way up or the other way up, but quite simple. This might have been like April's because there are 2, like I say, that were quite similar. So yeah, nice and simple. And then February was very different, and there were 4 versions of this. So I did version 2. I think version 1, the circle was just one colour, I think. And then on the most complicated, so the 4th version, there was some foundation paper piecing, and there was a sun in the middle rather than the kind of duo block. But I was quite happy with that. I was chuffed. I decided to do the circle without kind of forcing myself to think too hard at that point. Some nice bright colours. I think I have these in the right order. And then, yeah, so this was similar again to the first one. Yeah, I'm fairly sure this is the latest block. So yeah, more lines and colours. And actually, so part of the, don't tell anyone, part of the clues that have come through are to do with the triangles and the colour combinations. So there was like a code of kind of the colours and which ones are included in here. So I've solved a few letters. So I think like that might be an E because that's an E and that's an E or something like that. So I've discovered a code there. Then I've dropped some. Oh, so then there was Llama Block, which I'll put a photo up of her up close. So she stays on my desk because I'm so proud of her. So Flora, that was foundation paper piecing, which completely new to me. I don't enjoy it. And then maze blocks, there was a choice of 7, but you had to make 3. I didn't like all the options. Some were difficult. I tried to do the condor block and it's very faffy and fiddly. However, I did get some advice this week about it, about changing the pattern slightly so it's less faffy and so delicate. So will I go back and do it? Probably not. I don't know, we'll see. So instead of doing a faffy foundation paper piecing, I just did some of these squares. So they had different colour combinations. The black and white one was one that I made up out of the colours I've got. This was one of the colours they set, and these are my dedicated fabrics for those colourways. It's a nice floral. This one I call my what's it called? Scooby-Doo, because it's definitely got Scooby-Doo colour vibes. I don't know if that's on purpose or just coincidence, but doing a murder mystery and there's Scooby-Doo vibes, who knows. And then June that I finished yesterday, literally just before our charity session, we've got this. And what's really nice actually is when they send over on the paper with all the options is they tell you about some of the designs and why they've picked it as well. So this is my corn, and I'm very chuffed because I actually printed bubble wrap onto the plain yellow fabric I had, so it looked more like corn. Yes, this is faffy. This top bit doesn't line up and it drives me mental. It doesn't look too bad from far away, but there is an option for cocoa leaves as well, and they explained why that's important to the region. So it's nice that there's links. It's not too random, but there's some context of the blocks, and that goes for all of them. So that's really interesting. So yeah, 6 months in, and someone the other day did ask, are you enjoying it? Good question. Yes. I'm frustrated by the foundation paper piecing process. I don't enjoy it. So the condor last month, in order just to finish in time, I was like, I'm not enjoying doing this bird. It's really frustrating. I wasn't in a great mental space with stuff, life and things. So I was like, it's not bringing me joy. This is not life or death. This is just something I enjoy doing. Why am I forcing myself to do a block I don't like? Which is when I went back, and so I used the colours that were from that block to make the black, white, crossy one. So yes, we'll see. I don't have no idea how the construction is going to look at the end. I've got at least 6 more blocks to come, and I'm no closer yet to finding out who the murderer is. So hoping to solve June's clue, and that might get me a bit closer. There's a clue that I haven't quite put into practice yet, so we'll see. Early days, and it's been really fun doing something a bit different. Would I do it again? If the theme was right. I know that a few people do quilting kits from elsewhere, and so I've got my eye on a couple that are probably themed more to things I like. Not a pirate one, but there's an animal one someone's pointed out during a session that they've had, and that looks great. So we'll see. We'll see. So I'm really sorry to bring it up, but we are near the end of June, and that means it is 6 months till. And I promised people during sessions back in December time to remind people to give them a nudge that it is coming and to start planning now in June, July time, to start getting things in place. So here it is. Here's your reminder. If you want to make stuff for loved ones, or whoever this Christmas. Sorry, it hurts me to say it this early. But if you're thinking about making gifts, now's the time to start planning. Also, festive fabric tends to be a little bit cheaper this time of year. Somewhere I saw it quite cheap, so you can start now if you're wanting to use festive themed fabric. Do it. Go, like, you do you. However, in order to help prompt you to start thinking about makes, I've created a resource for you. I don't have it here right now because I need to do final checks, proofreading, etc. I just need to step away from it, look back, but that is coming soon in the next couple of weeks for you to start thinking. You can just get ideas down now. If you hear them say something, you can write down some ideas. So what it contains is a space to make a shopping list for all the bits you need, a page to think about ideas for a particular person. If you're not sure what you want to make, there's space to think about things they like and think of a few different ideas before you decide on your final idea, and a shopping list and checklist of things for that person. And then there's an overall list for all the different makes you're going to do for Christmas. There's some advice before you get going with thinking about making for others. And there's also some ideas, a couple of pages of ideas. They're all patterns and things that you can easily find resources and patterns for free, but also there's obviously paid patterns out there, and it's categorized into different things. So it might be there's definitely a children's section. There's a section for decorations as well, if you maybe want to, if you're hosting or you're going to help the host for festive period, put some decorations up, whether it's napkins, tree ornaments, etc. There's some suggestions there, but always ask the host first if you're going to take decorations over. So there's loads of brief ideas. There's no links to anyone in particular, but just loads of just kind of, ideas I've pulled together. So just to get you started, there are loads of things out there you can do. This is just if you feel stuck in a rut. So that resource is coming. It'll be free. You can pay £2.50 if you want to, but otherwise I'm very happy to share it for free. I'm not sure how much making I'll be doing yet, but I would like to do some decorations. We'll see how life goes, but I can certainly start to think about it and reflect on a few people close to me that I will make for and what they might like. So yeah, look out for that coming very soon. And finally, just a reminder of some of the housekeeping for our sessions. So remind people not to move your device that you're joining from, and if you've got your camera on, if you can turn it off when you need to move the device. Just sometimes that can cause migraines, bit of movement sickness and other things as well. So just be mindful to turn your camera off, move your device, and then pop your camera back on. And that helps. Also eating food, if you can maybe just be off screen or turn your camera off. Sometimes people, not everybody wants to see that. So if you can be mindful of eating, especially if it's dinner, just if you can turn your camera off, that would be great. Also, everything that happens within Virtual Sewing Room, we might have discussions that come onto Instagram, but we won't do specifics. So I won't be telling you about, when people open up about particular subjects, I won't be coming onto Instagram and saying, wow, so and so said this and this is what they did, and oh my god, did you know, da 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 da, not without their permission. So just be mindful that just sometimes we share experiences about things, not to go posting about it or sharing it with others without their permission. It is a safe space, so just to be mindful of that. Also, we can keep swearing to a minimum just because of little indelicate ears that might be just out of side of the camera that we may not see but may be within sight, and not everybody enjoys listening to swear words, so just to be mindful. There are lots of alternatives out there, bobbins, for example. So if you can find an alternative to swearing, that would be great, very kind and very respectful to our other attendees. So that's me. I really need to go and wash my So Fruity make so I can take some photographs over the weekend and post it on Monday. I am really looking forward to seeing everybody else's makes. I think my Instagram is going to be full of lovely, wonderful makes. If you didn't see, we did a So Fruity poll knockout. Spoke to Yvette, got her to send me the top 8 fruits from last year, and we'll have to see if that correlates with the fruits that are being made up this year. You voted based on fruits you enjoy sewing up, and go over to Instagram and find out who came out top on the little poll fun. So we had oranges, lemons, apples, strawberries, cherries. Did I say pineapple? Probably. 8 fruits, went head to head, we whittled it down, and we have our podium over on Instagram if you want to go check that out. I was not surprised by the winner, but I was surprised by 2nd and 3rd place. That is not who I predicted at all. So yeah, I need to go and sort that out. I need to stop sweating so much. I apologise about my appearance if that offends you. Enjoy the rest of your day, wherever you are, whatever you're up to, hopefully sewing. Let me know what you're currently working on in the comments, and if you've taken part in So Fruity. Do you do charity sewing? And would you want to do a murder mystery quilt? Let me know. Take care. See you soon.